Durham's Rock Hard Water Putty. That's the stuff you want to use. It didn't go too bad. Not too shabby. There, that's it. I can't, like I say, I can't play with it any more than that. Okay, you just have to kind of let it dry. And then I can go back and shave off the high bits. Okay? Nice job. This patch is really looking nice over here, huh? And I've got this floated in pretty good. This is more tapered. So now you can get an idea more about the water. See, if you were water, where are you going to go? Right along this edge, to the left, to the left, and then straight out. That's what I'm doing here. Water over here, to the right. Right from here, to the right, straight out. Because remember, I'm going to build this up here. And I had to double check my concrete pavers and the 1/2-inch padding stuff that's underneath it so that I had enough room before the stucco mold, because this is existing stucco mold. I can't change that, can I? So that's why I measured it and made sure I had enough room to make a determination of how high to get that. I didn't want to make it too terribly high, because with these pavers, see how big they are? 2 foot square. There's only so much that you're going to be able to change the height of them before they start teeter-tottering and stuff like that. I mean, granted, the water gets down here and it gets underneath. The water's going to go out. But I still want the tiles to fit fairly flat. And if the tiles are not flat, if they're up and down too much, like see this tile here? This tile's just a hair higher than this one, not much. See this one? It's kind of hard to tell, but there's flat right there. It's sticking up. It's sticking up, I don't know, 1/8 inch, 3/16. And I'm going to have a little bit of that, not too terribly much, from floating this up at an angle, having that up at an angle coming down. Do you see what I'm saying? And once I put the tiles in, if I get 1 or 2 that are up too high or something, there's a couple different things I could do. I could grind the backside off a little bit. I could also take a hammer with a block of wood, let's say, and see this stuff here. I could take a block of wood, you know, on edge and beat on it. Tap on it, tap, 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 tap. I could do that if I had to. I'm not planning on doing that. And that's why I didn't want this tapered up too high. I mean, just because this side here was 2 3/4 or almost 3 inches, I wasn't going to raise it all the way up to so I only had 2.5 inches left. That would be way up too high. You know what I mean? So I made it nominal, and all of these lines, they didn't do a very good job. They didn't level them. Some are taller than others at the start to the finish. So it's not like every tile is going to have the same gap underneath them. You see, that would be nice if you had the same gap. If you had a 1/4 inch gap there and a 1/4 inch gap over there and a 1/4 inch all the way. but you don't. See up there? Up there is just tight, just barely fits, and then just below that there's a 3/8 inch gap, and then there's a 1/2 inch gap down to a 1/4 inch. So none of this lines up. Look at this tile over here. They actually cut it too short. This tile here is cut too short. Actually, it's not cut too short. It is a full 2-footer. See how it tapers down? Look over here. It tapers right there. What they should have done was make sure that this corner one, they shouldn't have lined it up so evenly. They should have made it so that you had to cut this full tile here so that they could have pushed it under there. See that gap? It looks like from here it's 3/4 of an inch too low, where in fact if this would have been longer, or if they would have cut a little piece under there, the gap between here and the stucco mold is maybe a 1/4 inch, 3/8, instead of looking like 5/8 to 3/4 standing here and looking at it. See? So nothing's exactly perfect, and when I get done with all this, these gaps are going to be slightly different than the other gaps, but overall you look at the entire job and it'll look fine. Okay, the progress is going rather nicely. It's only been a few minutes since I put this on. I'm gonna wait a couple more minutes, and then I'm gonna lightly scrape that off, and I'll probably end up having to go over that, skin this little section over in here one more time. That's okay. Hey, that's my second application right there. If I have to go a third one, hey, I don't mind. As long as I get it done and it looks good when I get done, that's what matters. Now see, I thought I could get all that out of the pan before it all dried, but this is, see all that? Look at, what's the big deal with wasting that much? Well, if I wasted that much in every single pan, I'm not going to have near enough of this. I've got about this much left in this can, and I've got a full other container, and I still have more to go. I've got to float that one more time over there, just tight skim. I've got to float that. That looks like a third of it's done. This is the one that's got the most mud that I'm going to have to put on right over there. Okay, and I'm hoping I'm not just slightly short to where I have to go back to the store. Okay, so I know in the future, for me anyways, that I can't mix up as much as I just mixed up. I'm going to have to do a little bit smaller batches. Not really super tiny batches, but a good amount, but enough where I can put it on without having to scrape that much out. That's just, for me, that's unacceptable. Don't like doing that. I've got another little batch here made up, and I'm just gonna skim over this. Skin or skim, whichever you want to call it. And I found after mixing this up, if I put all of my mud in the same little spot so I don't have to keep digging it out, it makes it go a little bit faster. It goes on nice. This is my third third application. That's it. That's all I'm going to do on that one.